So Carl, as a productivity researcher myself, I have prepared a YouTube video on the 80-20 rule, and I myself vouch for this. Can you tell the viewers what the 80-20 rule is and how can anyone use that?
Yeah, the 80-20 rule is an interesting one. I mean, the basic principle of that is that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your efforts. But it goes beyond that. It's like 20%, 80% of your revenues will come from 20% of your customers. It's just one of those weird things in life that you actually see that working out. So when I look at the breakdown in my business, 80% of my income comes from courses, 20% of my income comes from coaching programs. And I haven't done anything to affect it that way. It's just that's the way it's naturally led. But it's a really good ratio to think of. It's like, well, what is the 20% of work that I can do that's going to give me 80% of my results? And again, that comes back to going back in time and looking at your data. You will see. So I know that 2 hours in the morning that I protect for focused work, that's my 20%, because that's giving me 80% of my output. Doing all the other stuff, the little bits that need to be done, does not give me that information, does not give me that result. So yes, it's absolutely true. You do need to actually get into that situation where you have the data, you can see where 20% of your efforts are going to give you 80% of your results.
Yeah, everywhere I've seen. Like, I'm the founder and CEO of a market research and strategy making company, and every single year, at the end of the year, I see that 20% of results or 20% of my clients are giving 80% of my revenues, and it's every year the ratio is the same. But I feel, Carl, that for 80-20 rule to be applicable or in one's life, one needs to have the self-awareness as to where they're putting their efforts onto their whole day, how they're using their 24 hours. If they don't have self-awareness of that, then how will they understand that where their efforts are going into? If they don't understand that 20% of efforts are giving 80% of the results, then how they're going to understand how to manage that 80-20 ratio?
I think it's absolutely true. I mean, again, as I could go say, it's like looking back at your data, and it's part of my weekly planning session is I do have a quick look back at my calendar to see where I've gone. I generally don't look at all the tasks that I've done because a lot of them are just little bits that need to be done. But my calendar is the source of all the information that I need. I do tend to put all my events and things and times that I'm with people and doing things. So I will go back and I will do that. So yeah, being self-aware means that, you're looking back at your calendar, looking at where am I at my most focus. Now, this is a really good, important thing to look at is as a human being, we're not robots. So we have emotions, we have moods, we have levels of energy that goes up and down. So one of the things that you can do is you can actually look at and think, well, where am I at my best? Am I a morning person or am I a night owl? Now, personally, I'm a night owl. I love working late at night, 10:30 p.m. until 1:30 a.m. That is a golden time for me. And I know Tim Ferriss, the author, he's also does all his writing late at night. But then you've got people like Tim Cook, Apple CEO, who wake up at 3:30 in the morning and do his morning routines and gym and everything and likes to be in the office by 6 a.m. So we're all a little bit different. So this means that we've got to figure out when are we at our best and when are we not at our best. Now, when you're at your best, that's the time to block out and protect for focused work. When you're not at your best, when your energy levels are lower, that's the time to have meetings, because that interaction with people will perk you up. It will wake you up a bit. So you can optimize your day. I hate that idea of optimizing my day because that's not really what life should be about. But if you need to, you can. So I generally push off meetings and calls with coaching clients to in the evening. Most of the week they're in the evening because I'm at my best, I'm thinking better, and that interaction is so valuable at that time. The afternoons, my levels are really low. And that's when I do my exercise and take my dog for a walk. I don't do or try and sit down and do focused work. It would be impossible for me to do that because it would be so slow and I'd be distracted. It's just not something I can do. Morning times and late at night, that's when I can do my focus. But that's what you need to do. You need to go back through your your system and look and see, when are you at your best and when are you not at your best. And if you don't have a good night's sleep and you're feeling a bit what I would suggest you do is back off some of that stuff and just say, okay, I'm going to take it easy today, get the essentials done, and then tomorrow I'll make sure I get a good night's sleep tonight, and tomorrow I can come back fighting. And
Correct. I think self-awareness is very crucial.